Welcome back to Classic Radio Drama Theater. In this episode, we present a quartet of unforgettable performances from radio's golden age. We'll witness incredible bravery behind enemy lines during wartime, follow a determined pioneer battling centuries of tradition, stand alongside a journalist who refuses to be silenced, and peek into the hilarious chaos of a marriage put to the anniversary test. 4 distinct stories, 4 classic broadcasts, all in one episode. Our first drama takes us deep into the American Revolution. In But for the Courage of a Woman, vital supplies hang in the balance, and a desperate mission must be undertaken. Can a lone woman outwit an entire army, or will her daring gamble end in disaster?
Inheritance. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with the American Legion, presents a story out of that great composite of visions, struggles, and victories of the American past. Our Inheritance. Yes, we Americans are heirs to a vast fortune. A fortune compounded of many things. Of Balboa discovering a vast ocean to be known as the Pacific. Pioneers spinning thread for homespun garments. And the voice of a great bell proclaiming liberty. It is Coronado searching for the golden city of Quivera. And the embattled farmers at Bunker Hill. Let us now go back to a significant chapter in America's history, one we all share in our inheritance. Hardly a year had passed since freedom-loving settlers dumped the tea of the British into the Boston Bay in 1773, that the first clouds of war had darkened the horizon, and now there were groups of American settlers everywhere, guided by the spiritual leadership of John Hancock and Samuel Adams, opposing the British in every move they made. The Redcoats' General Gage had long understood that much of his strength lay in keeping the groups of settlers apart, and for one of the colonists to be caught in the attempt to somewhere cross the endless network of British lines meant sure death. And still it were these small groups of determined men which grew into the mighty army of the American independence. John Sullivan was the leader of such a group of men, while his sister Jane, under the guise of a loyal Cockney, worked at the headquarters of the British High Command, serving...
Tea, General Gage, sir. Do you wish your tea now, sir?
Gentlemen, I believe a cup of hot tea is in order.
Very good, sir.
General Gage, sir, there is a persistent rumor that another battalion of His Majesty's troops is on its way across the Atlantic.
So, the news has found its way around already, Major.
They'll be a welcome addition, sir. With our lines stretched for miles all through the colonies, they'd be hard put to withstand a concerted attack by the rebels.
And I have it from reliable sources, sir, that the rebels are sending messengers here and yonder in defiance of your orders. It seems that they are trying to combine their groups into some sizable army units.
The captain's reliable informant wouldn't by any chance be wearing a skirt and have brown hair, blue eyes, and pink cheeks.
Well, no matter who might be the captain's informant, I'm certain that he's right. These rebels are no fools. They know as well as we that to fight us, they must combine. And fight us they will. Would not you do the same if you were they?
Your tea, Captain.
Thank you. Yes, General, I believe I would, sir. And I would fight hard. That's why I believe we must act with great caution.
Great caution, indeed. It seems to me the brave captain is making quite a mountain out of a small molehill.
Brave men, Major, have been known to stumble over a molehill, only to break their necks. Caution is a part of military wisdom, no matter who the opponent.
But, sir, these men are nothing but peasants.
Peasants who fought for every foot of ground on which they now live.
Yes, they fought, but not soldiers. They fought Indian hordes, half naked, armed with tomahawks and bows and arrows. Who could compare those savages with His Majesty's forces, equipped with the latest cannons and rifles?
Your peasants, too, have guns and cannons. And what is more, they fight for their home, and not a strange piece of ground far away, for which they care little.
Oh, come now, General. You know these rebels suffer a pitiful shortage of powder and bullets.
You're right, Major. And this shortage will surely be our strongest ally. Captain, what conditions did you find at Fort William and Mary?
The stores of powder and ammunition, sir, are in first-class condition and of considerable quantity.
Yes, Captain. Is there anything else you wish to add to your report?
Well, sir, yes, in a way there is.
Well, out with it, Captain.
It is just that it occurred to me, sir, that 20 men and one officer, no matter how brave, are scanty protection for so important a post.
The brave captain, I suppose, would have us tie up an entire regiment to defend a fortification, with none of the rebels would dare to attack, even if it was deserted.
20 men, Captain? Is that all?
20 men, sir, under the command of a Lieutenant James.
Lieutenant James is a competent soldier, General. I've had the good fortune to know him well. It seems a shame to have so able a young officer up there in the wilderness commanding so remote a position.
The Major forgets that these settlers need ammunition. And I'm certain that if they knew where to find it, 20 of the King's men, no matter how courageous, would not be enough to stop them from taking it.
May I refill your cup, sir?
While the general and his men lingered what seemed to Jane interminably over their tea, a group of rebels, among them Jane's brother John Sullivan, were holding a meeting of their own in the old mill by the river. The major topic of their planning revolved around the shortage of ammunition, and when Jane late that evening was able to join the group, they listened in eager silence.
And then he gave orders to have the captain take 50 men to strengthen the guard at the fort.
And when is this to take place?
This is the night of Tuesday. It's Thursday he'll arrive at the fort.
Then there is no time to lose.
Let us get ready tonight.
It's the impatience of youth with which you're speaking, Asa. An undertaking like this needs careful planning if it's to have a chance of success.
The night is too far gone. It's only a few hours till daybreak. And we must not arrive at the fort in the light of day. You men go ready the boats while I shall attempt to cross the British lines to get help.
Cross the British lines, but it cannot be done.
It must be done.
John Sullivan is right, Asa. It must be done. There are too few of us here to succeed. We shall need the help of George Miller and his men. We need both strength in numbers and in guns.
Don't try it, John. Think of Frank Post, the blacksmith. And all he was trying to do was to get a doctor for his sick boy. They said he was a spy and shot him. And now the boy, too, is dead.
I've heard, Jane. But still I must go. Our forces are in dire need for powder and bullets. We must have help to take it from the British. I have no choice. I must go.
Let me go, John. For you, there is Martha to think of and the children, but me, I have no one.
No, Asa. I'd rather go myself.
I believe, John, Asa may be right. It's not only your wife and children I'm thinking of. They, too, shall be considered. But rather, I think of your men who need you to lead them.
You, Roger, can lead as well as I.
My bones are old, John. My mind may be sharp and clear, but my bones are old and my body tired. No, John, my days of fighting are over. It's for the younger men like you and Asa to finish what we old ones have started.
Then it's settled. I shall leave in an hour.
All right. You know the British positions. They've cut down most of the trees. You'll have to crawl on your belly much of the way. It will take much time and patience and much luck.
I shall make it.
Remember, Asa, on your getting through to George Miller depends the outcome of the entire undertaking. If you fail, none of us may live to bring the boats back downriver.
I know, John. I shall be careful.
All right, now listen carefully, all of you. Here's the plan. We shall take the boats, all of them, and row up the river under the cover of darkness. We must be ready as soon as the sun sets below the horizon, as to hurry will mean to be noisy. And it is of the greatest import that none of the redcoats at the fort are informed of our approach. Now then, at 5 o'clock sharp, before the sun comes up, we shall land below the fort and wait for the sign that George Miller's men have arrived. Now, this sign will be the hoot of the wild owl, 3 times in quick succession. I shall return the signal.
Brother, I have decided. I shall go.
Please, Jane. This is a man's affair. You'll be needed badly back here.
I shall go and take the message to George Miller.
But Miss Jane...
Jane, it has been decided that Asa will go.
He will not get through.
That's just a chance that we shall have to take. There's still some time until dawn. He will go part of the way under cover of darkness.
But why take that chance, John, when I am certain to succeed where Asa is likely to fail?
Don't talk like a child, Jane.
This war is a man's business, Miss Jane. It's not the work of pretty women to fight and risk their lives.
But you're wrong, Asa. 'Tis all our war. Because it's our life and our freedom that's at stake. You may be a man and stronger than I, but you will not get through. But on the other hand, I shall have no trouble.
Thank you, Miss Jane, for... We know you mean well, but it's out of the question. We're wasting time. I must go.
Just a moment, Asa. There may be some truth in what my sister is saying. In any case, there can be little harm in listening to her plan. What is it you have in mind to do, Jane?
My plan is as simple as it is certain to work. But it may cost each one of you 2 or 3 cows.
2 or 3 cows?
Well, Jane's plan was as simple as it was likely to succeed. This was no time for false male pride, and at last they all agreed. Few people slept that night among the settlers. All had to help with the preparations, and it was less than an hour till daybreak when Jane was ready, waiting for the morning sun and time to start her journey. With her was Asa, young and strong and good-looking, and scared to speak of what was in his heart.
It's getting light, Miss Jane. I begin to distinguish your pretty face by the glow of the dawn. My heart tells me that I wish it was I who was going instead of you.
I shan't be gone long, Asa. Just a day and a night. And when I see you again, the stores of Fort William and Mary shall be in our hands.
Why must it be that you and I are born into times where talk of fighting and death fills every day, and thoughts of love must be kept a secret?
No thought of love must ever be kept a secret. Is it not for the love of freedom and country that we must fight the British?
It isn't that kind of love of which I was speaking.
I know, dear Asa. And you must know that in my heart there are feelings akin to yours. For a long time now I have known of your love and waited for you to tell me.
Jane, dear.
You're a good man, Asa. And one day soon, God willing, you and I and our children, shall happily live in a free America. Free because of what you and John and all the men like you have done. And maybe just a little bit, too, because of what I'm doing today. It's for our children, Asa, and for their children after them that we must fight to be free.
The sun is rising above the horizon. Let me just once hold you in my arms before you go.
It's time. Good luck, Asa. And do be careful at the fort.
And you, Jane. May God be with you.
Come, boss. Come, boss. Come, boss.
You must wait, my boy. You'll get to use that shooting arm of yours before you know it.
But I've been here a week come tomorrow and ain't shot me no rebels yet. Getting to be a blasted bore. No shooting, no fighting. Aye, and every time I spots one of them wenches that works up at the general's quarters, they acts like we was worms or somethings to spit on.
Well, me lad, about the women I wouldn't be knowing. You see, I got a real wench back home, and when you get to my age, lad, you can do without kissing for a while, and you don't mind none.
Maybe you, old man, but I ain't dead yet. And if I can't go and fight leastwise, I wants me a girl to kiss once in a while, and a mug of ale to drink to make me time go faster.
Well, old Father Time goes plenty fast for the likes of me, son. Seems like only yesterday I was a young sprout like yourself and plenty quick with the women folk.
Huh?
Now, here I am with me hair all grey, and a son soon old enough to pick up a gun himself.
Now, seems like I've been doing nothing but marching up and down. I sure wish them rebels would start the shooting so's we could mow them down.
Oh, well, lad, you was pounding the sack the other day when they caught that rebel spy trying to sneak through our lines.
Aye, and sure lucky for him. If it had been me what caught him, I'd have shot him, sure.
They shot him the next morning.
Our shooting's too good for a spy. They should have hanged him.
Here. You know, me lad,
Eh?
I've been hearing rumours that we'll be moving someplace tomorrow, you and me.
You mean we're moving into battle?
No, not into battle, lad, just into new positions.
Oh, where are we going?
I don't know for sure, lad. They say some fort up the river. I hear it's stuffed full of ammunition, and we're supposed to make sure that them rebels don't get it.
Now, ain't that just my luck? Some fort full of powder and bullets, and I bet not a pretty wench within 5 miles.
Shh.
What?
Now, what could that be?
Cows.
You don't say, lad. I thought it was the rebel army.
Well, what's so funny? There they are over yonder. Cows, like I said. An whole herd of them.
Who would be such a fool to drive a herd of cows right into the midst of His Majesty King George III's army?
It beats me. Blimey. By my soul, it's a lass. Oh, and a pretty one she is at that.
Well, me lad, I must admit your eyes are better than mine. I hardly can see her yet.
There, don't you see her, old man? Oh, she be wearing a bright blue dress and her hair is yellow like fire. Come on, let's go see if she's lost her way.
Could be she's a spy. You never know with them rebels.
Well, hello, girlie. You sure are a pretty sight around here.
Well, hello, soldier.
Now, where would you be wanting to go with all them cows?
How are you, miss?
Hello.
If this be beef on the hoof you're bringing for the cooks to slaughter, you're headed too far south. The quartermaster's up that way.
Now, don't you be listening to him, girlie. As long as you found your way to me, you've been going in the right direction. Here, what'd you say you give them cows a rest whilst you and me get proper acquainted?
'Tis not beef on the hoof I'm bringing for your quartermaster.
Then what, pray tell me, are you doing with a whole herd of cows right amidst His Majesty's army?
Leave her alone, old man. I know the girlie. She's one of the ones I've been seeing up at the general's quarters. She's just lost her way. Or, maybe she's looking for a good man. That being the case, she surely found him.
I not lost me way. Nor did I set out to look for a man. For if I had, I should either have come alone, or with something better as chaperone than a herd of dumb cows. No, gents, I'm on my way to visit my cousin Jim, who bought them here cows right proper and legal. But he fell ill with the fever before he could drive them home.
Seems to me, girlie, there's a toll that must be paid before we can permit you to go on your way.
A toll?
Aye?
But I have no money on me with which to pay any toll.
Oh. You hear what the girlie said, old man? She has no money. Says she can't pay. What do you think we should do? Hello, here now. Where'd he get to?
He walked away while you was looking me up and down.
Well, good for him, leaving the two of us alone. Now, about that fee. It wasn't money I was thinking of.
Oh?
It's more like a kiss for every cow in your head. That's what I had on my mind.
A kiss for every cow? Ain't that a pretty steep price to pay just to get on my way?
All right. It's a kiss or you concubine.
Well, it seems to me some of my cows have already gone on while you and me been standing here talking.
It's not them cows I cares about. It's your pretty face.
Oh, heavens, King George.
King George?
King George, the black one with the white face and legs over yonder. He's getting away.
Oh.
King George! King George!
All right, wait up, I'll help you. Here, King George, get along there. Go on, get along.
Good boy.
Get along.
There's a good boy, King George. You go back to the others. Oh, dear. Look at all of them soldiers of yours coming this way.
Aye.
Seems to me like you lose your chance of collecting that toll you wants me to pay with all of them soldiers standing round here.
Yeah, come on, girlie, come on, let's hurry.
Let go of my arm, soldier. You hurt me.
Yeah, now look, as soon as we get to them trees over yonder, we'll be alone. Better catch your breath, girlie. You'll need it.
Not so rough.
Oh, how you slap like you kiss, girlie. With fire. Yeah, let's have another try at it.
Leave me alone. Here my cow.
Oh, the cows be hanged, it's you I like. Come here, girlie.
They're coming after us. Let me go.
Not all
Let
the
me
way,
go.
not all the way, they ain't a-coming. The territory ends right over there. This rebel country we're in, it's out of bounds for us soldiers.
Well, then how come you... King George! Watch out, here comes King George!
Blimey! Pox on King George! Blimey, that beast might have killed us both.
Now you let go of me.
How but thanks to that raving beast, I got you in my arms, girlie. And I don't aim to let you go until I collect me another kiss like the last one.
I saw him running over yonder!
A spy? You hear the lieutenant? So, you're a spy.
Oh, you ain't going to believe everything some punk lieutenant tells you, are you?
Believe it or not, it makes no difference. He says you're a spy. When I bring you in, I'm likely to get me a medal. Come on, you.
Let go of me. You hurt me.
Oh. So, you bite, do you, Vixen? Well, I'll show you. Hey, let go of my knife there. Let go of it. Ow. Ow.
She's running over there. Fire before she gets into the woods. Hey, come over here. Let me with the soldier.
He's dead. She stabbed him with his own knife.
I'd never find her in those woods.
If the silent group of rugged men rowing their boats up the river under the cover of night and rain could have known of Jane's escape, their hearts might have been lighter. Success or failure of their mission depended on the courage of a woman, and their silent prayers were reaching out to her.
Tis the blackest night I remember seeing in all my life.
Tis that, and a good night it is for doing what we're about to do.
You think, John, Miss Jane got through all right?
I wouldn't be known for sure, Asa. But when she makes up her mind, it's sure to take more than the British redcoats to stop her.
How far do you think we are still from the fort?
It's 3 hours to go. And pray that the rain holds out.
Oh, I'm soaked through to the skin.
It's cold and wet. We all are, to be sure, but so will be the sentry at Fort William and Mary. And with luck, he'll be of no mind to be overly watchful.
Oh, you're right there, John. If only we knew for sure about Miss Jane.
Not before 5 in the morning, when waiting outside the walls of the fort, we will know. It's the 3 hoots of the wild owl that surely might mean the difference for us between life and death. We'd better start working the bucket, Asa. There must be a foot of water in the boat already.
Sure, John. John.
Yes, Asa.
How long since your father and mother have died?
Oh, must be near on 10 years now.
Then if I would want to be asking for Miss Jane's hand, it'd be you, her brother, I should be asking, John.
Well, Asa, so you finally got up the courage to speak about it. We've all been knowing for a long time now and wondering when you'd speak for her.
It's funny. The courage it takes to fight the redcoats and maybe get shot, that's easy courage. But there's the courage you need to ask a good woman like your sister Jane. That's a real hard courage.
I know, Asa. I know how it is.
Yes, I guess most every man does.
You've been speaking to Jane about this, I hope. She, too's been waiting.
I was with her this morning before she went off to the British lines. And when I told her how I'd been loving her all this time, she said she knew.
She did?
Seems funny. How women know these things without nobody telling them nothing.
It's nearly time.
I can see the sentry walking up and down against the sky.
It's about time you got
It's getting
me.
lighter.
My skin's beginning to leak, and the water's starting to mix with me blood.
Quit beefing. It's not 5 yet. I'm early. What do you think? The rain will stop, maybe?
Serve you right if it don't.
Now, what silly owl would be wanting to be hanging around on a night like this?
She made it.
Yes, Jane Sullivan had carried the message to friends at the other side of the lines, and here they now were to help in the common cause. The attack on Fort William and Mary was a success. The handful of British soldiers, taken utterly by surprise, surrendered with little fight. The colonists gathered the entire store of powder and ammunition in their boats and floated them down the river for safekeeping. And it was the courage of a young woman by the name of Jane Sullivan which for months to come had made certain that there would be powder and bullets for every American gun in the fight for American independence. Next week, Inheritance will take you on another journey through the pages of history, to a time when Americans dreaming of the future forged that which we possess today. Today's story, But for the Courage of a Woman, was written by Paul Garrison and featured Julie Bennett as Jane Sullivan. Included in the cast in order of their appearance were Donald Lawton, Nelson Welch, Hal Gerard, Herb Ellis, Robert North, Earl Lee, Alec Harford, Tom McGee. The original music was composed and conducted by Robert Armbruster. Inheritance is produced and directed for the National Broadcasting Company and the American Legion by Albert McCleary. This is John Wall speaking.
High stakes of revolutionary espionage, we turn to a different kind of battlefield, the fight for professional equality. In whatsoever house I enter, woman dares to dream of becoming a doctor in a world ruled by men. What sacrifices must she make? And can her relentless spirit overcome the crushing weight of prejudice, even when fate deals a cruel blow?
Inheritance. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with the American Legion, presents a story out of that great composite of visions, struggles, and victories of the American past. Our Inheritance. Yes, we Americans are heirs to a vast fortune. A fortune composed of many things. Hardy men forging tools to conquer a primitive wilderness. And the voice of a great bell proclaiming liberty. It is the pioneer women who braved frontier danger. And of Perry's victory on Lake Erie. Let us now go back to a significant chapter in America's history, one which we all share in our inheritance. Some 100 years ago, a courageous woman took her place in a profession which previously had been reserved exclusively for the male of the species. The story of the inheritance she left us is indeed an inspiring one. It is also a story which could best be told by those who guided the destiny of Elizabeth Blackwell.
Yes, I knew Elizabeth Blackwell, girl of great ambition. A stubborn ambition, perhaps, but one filled with the determination to succeed, despite many attempts to discourage her, even by me. I remember her as a young woman of 26, looking toward the future and knowing exactly what her place in that future was to be.
A surgeon, Dr. Warrington. I am determined to be a surgeon.
But, Elizabeth, women were neither born to be doctors, nor will they be accepted as such. When you first wrote me of your intentions, I questioned several women friends of mine, and each of them assured me, most emphatically, that she'd have nothing to do with a female practitioner or teacher of medicine.
And because a few of your Philadelphia ladies consider a woman doctor to be some sort of three-headed monster, because they believe a woman must dress in silks and satins and serve tea promptly at 4, because of them I am to forget my desire to study medicine? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, Elizabeth. I don't say you should give up this work. As a matter of fact, I could even encourage you to continue, since it's only too apparent to me that you have both the strength and capacity to see it through.
You agree?
But not here in America.
Dr. Warrington.
Elizabeth, it'd be useless for you to try and study here. There's not a school that would accept you.
Simply because I'm a woman.
Exactly. If you want to become a surgeon, then go to Paris. There you could attend lectures in every branch of medical science.
They would accept me as a medical student in Paris?
Undoubtedly. But,
Yes?
Your acceptance would be more certain if you were to disguise yourself in men's clothing.
Disguise myself in... Dr. Warrington, I am following a duty which, to me, is directed by feelings of justice and common sense. For that reason, I shall do no such ridiculous thing as that which you suggest. If I'm to study medicine, I shall do it in the light of day, and with the public sanction.
Of course you will, Elizabeth.
This is a duty which must be performed, and I shall continue to search until I find an American medical school which will accept a woman. Good afternoon, Dr. Warrington.
As plain pre-med Stephen Smith, I was fortunate to have witnessed the first instance of the co-education of medical students in this country. I assure you the results quite upset many a theoretical apple cart. The first course of medical lectures I attended was in 1847 at Geneva Medical College, New York. The class, about 150 of us, was composed largely of young men from neighboring towns. But in November of that year, the picture changed.
Say, Steve.
Yes, Fred?
Who's the young lady waiting in the hall?
Oh, I don't know. Probably collecting for some charity or other.
Wow, she's a looker.
Well, I didn't know anatomy students were capable of such commonplace thoughts.
My dear Dr. Smith, you must remember, I was a man before I was an anatomy student.
Shh.
What?
There's the dean.
Oh.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
What now?
I have a letter here which I would like to read, with your indulgence.
From an indignant parent, no doubt.
This is no routine letter, gentlemen. It contains the most extraordinary request that has ever been made to our faculty. The letter was written by Dr. Warrington of Philadelphia and reads, I herewith recommend for admission to Geneva Medical College a young student who has expressed the desire to become a surgeon and who has been studying medicine in my office for several months.
A young man of unblemished character and great industry.
A young woman.
Here?
Gentlemen, please. A young woman who has been refused admission by several medical colleges, both here in Philadelphia and in other cities. But since our institution, your institution, is in the country, I felt it more likely to be free from prejudice against a woman medical student. Signed, Joseph Warrington, M.D.
A woman doctor here?
Why
As
not?
I said, gentlemen, this is quite an extraordinary request, and one which the faculty does not feel qualified to answer by itself. Since the student in question will be a fellow member of your classes, the faculty feels the final decision should be left in your hands. I suggest you give the request your most careful consideration. I shall be waiting in my office for your answer, gentlemen. Well, Miss Blackwell, I read them Dr. Warrington's letter.
I know. I took the liberty of eavesdropping.
Oh, then you heard.
Yes. Dr. Warrington's letter seems to have had quite an effect upon the young men.
Don't worry, Miss Blackwell. If the men vote in favor of your admission, it might prove to be quite a good advertisement for the college.
Advertisement?
If there's no other advantage to be gained, it will attract quite a bit of notice.
I'm happy to be of such service to the school.
Yes. What I meant to say is that I intend to bring the matter to the attention of the medical journals. Why, I venture to say that within 10 years' time, 1/3 of all the classes in our colleges will consist entirely of women. Yes, Miss Blackwell. After the precedent you will have established, people's eyes will be opened.
You speak as if I had already been accepted, Dean Lee.
I'm certain you will be. You'll go through the course and get your diploma, too. And we shall do everything in our power to help you.
We had quite an argument that day over Elizabeth's application for admission, but the dissenters, of whom I'm afraid I was the leader, were finally convinced that what we needed was a woman student. So on November 6th, 1847, Elizabeth Blackwell entered Geneva Medical College. As her first summer vacation drew near, Elizabeth made plans to spend it in study. Since she didn't know much about practical medicine, she decided to return to Philadelphia and make her observations in the hospital wards of the great Blockley Almshouse.
And this ward is where we keep our young mothers, Miss Blackwell.
Mothers are confined in quarters like this?
You forget this is an almshouse, a place for those who can't afford to go elsewhere.
What about the husbands, Miss Prudhomme? Don't they have...
Our mothers have no husbands.
They don't have... Oh.
Most of them are young servant girls who've been in our country only a short time. They have no money or families.
Is that sufficient reason for not giving them as much care as those who can afford it?
We do the best we can.
Couldn't you ask... Well, perhaps for more doctors.
There are none to spare. With so many people coming to America, and with a famine fever striking down a large number of them on the way, every hospital is filled to overflowing. And what few doctors we have here at Blockley hardly have time to rest.
But there are more doctors available.
You mean women doctors?
Why not? Aren't we as capable as the men?
Well, it's no use, Miss Blackwell. It just wouldn't work.
But why?
Well, let me show you why. Come over here. Hello, Eileen.
Hello, Miss Prudhomme.
Feeling better today?
Oh, a little. But I'd feel a lot better if I was rid of the pain.
Would you let Miss Blackwell see if she can do something for you?
Miss Blackwell?
I'd like to help you if I can.
Oh, help me. But why would an elegant lady like you want to help me?
Because I soon will be a doctor.
A doctor?
That's right. I thought perhaps a doctor of your own sex might...
Oh, why, it's possessed you are. A doctor? Well, a witch like as not. Well, you'll not lay a hand on me.
But, Eileen...
You'll not lay a hand on me.
Very well. Come along, Miss Prudhomme.
Now, do you understand what I mean, Miss Blackwell?
It isn't possible. Why should that girl have such a fear of women doctors? We're not witches or gargoyles. Why, then?
Simply because you're a woman. and women are not supposed to be doctors. If you'll take my suggestion, Miss Blackwell, you'll forget all about studying medicine. Go home and become a governess, or take up the piano.
No, Miss Prudhomme. I won't go home. I'm staying right here during my summer vacation as I planned. When I graduate from Geneva College, I shall go to Paris to study, dressed in my most feminine attire. And there will be no doubt in anyone's mind that Dr. Blackwell is a woman.
I think perhaps I knew Elizabeth better than anyone. Yes, I think so. I remember when I first saw her. It was in the office of Madame Charrier at La Maternité, the great maternity hospital here in Paris. Our introduction was most proper. Madame Charrier smiled and said, Dr. Blackwell, may I present Dr. Hippolyte Brissac? Well, at first, we all treated her with exquisite politeness, and we thought her a bit mad, this woman doctor from America. But soon I learned that Elizabeth was no caprice de la nature. How do you say? No freak. No. She rose at 6 o'clock with the other young students, and her work was not finished until 8 o'clock in the evening.
Just a minute, young lady. You'll have to be still if you want your back washed. Must you splash around like that? I declare if I don't think you're a tadpole instead of a curly-headed angel.
Bonjour, Elizabeth.
Oh, Dr. Brissac, I didn't hear you come in.
I know you were so busy with La Petite.
Isn't she a beautiful little thing? Come now, young lady. Time to be dried off.
Oh, let me lift her out for you. Allez.
Oh, babies are such wonderful creatures, Dr. Brissac.
You love children very much.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever thought of marriage, Elizabeth?
Oh, I'm afraid marriage will have to wait. Right now, my work is all important to me. I couldn't be both a surgeon and a wife without sacrificing one or the other. First, I must become a surgeon, a recognized surgeon. Then there will be time for marriage.
Ah, quel dommage.
How sadly you say that, Dr. Brissac.
I am sad. You are so young. You should be in love. It's not good when one is not in love.
Are you in love, Dr. Brissac?
Oui, I'm in love.
Is she pretty?
Oui.
Charming?
Oui.
And does she love you?
No.
Oh, quel dommage.
She is pretty, she is charming, she smiles when we speak, but she does not love me. No. Not once has she called me Hippolyte. Always it is Dr. Brissac.
But Dr. Brissac, perhaps she...
You voyez, that's what I mean. Again, it is Dr. Brissac.
You mean I'm...
Oui.
Why, Dr. Brissac?
Not Hippolyte?
I didn't know, Hippolyte. I never realized.
Ah, oui. Since you came to La Maternité, I watched you with the children and with the mothers. Ah, you've been so gentle, so kind. I saw the look of gratitude in the eyes of your first patient when she gave you the little prie-dieu she made. I've seen the little ones smile at you. That's why I love you.
Thank you, Hippolyte.
But I know how much more your work means to you, so I will wait. You know, Elizabeth, if you study here in Paris for another year, 2 years, you will be the best obstetrician, male or female, in the world.
Do you have that much faith in me?
Oui. No. I will work with you, Elizabeth, and help you. And later, perhaps you will feel for Hippolyte what you feel for the children.
Perhaps, Hippolyte. Perhaps.
The days went by. Elizabeth studied and worked, questioned and learned. I was Hippolyte now, but that was all. Elizabeth desired to be a recognized surgeon, left room for nothing else in her heart. And she would be a great surgeon. I knew that. But the hand of destiny struck a cruel blow. One morning, it was the 5th day of November in 1849, Elizabeth came into my office for a consultation.
It happened yesterday morning while I was working with the children.
Oh, how... no, open your eye a little wider, Elizabeth.
Oh, it was the small one. Babette, the one with the inflammation of the eye.
Really? Look up.
While I was syringing her eye, some of the solution accidentally spurted into mine. Naturally, I cleaned out my eye immediately and thought nothing more about it.
And this morning your eye is inflamed.
Yes.
Eh bien, you can relax now, Elizabeth.
Hippolyte, it isn't. You don't think it could be?
I cannot say immediately, Elizabeth, but the discharge from Babette's eye may have also given you purulent ophthalmia.
No, Hippolyte.
It will be a few days before we can know for certain. Everything will depend on the treatment. Now, your eye must be washed out every hour. Cold compresses applied to it. Ointment of belladonna.
I shall lose the sight of my eye.
No, Elizabeth. We have cured the children of such things.
I'm going to be blind, Hippolyte. I wanted so desperately to be a surgeon, and now I'm going to be blind.
At the end of the 3-day treatment, we knew that Elizabeth would be blind in one eye, and her dream of becoming the first woman surgeon was ended. Her interest in everything disappeared, even in me. And it was not long before I knew that I had lost her forever. Her daily letters to her sister, Emily, gradually mentioned Dr. Brissac less and less.
How well I remember those tragic letters Elizabeth wrote me from abroad. The 6 months which followed her departure from La Maternité proved to be a time of great mental suffering. The condition of her eye prevented her from studying, and any anatomical or surgical work was out of the question. But gradually her mental strength overcame the tragedy of her blindness, and after a good rest at the Grafenberg Spa in Czechoslovakia, Elizabeth was admitted as a student at St. Bartholomew's Hospital in London.
Dearest Sister Emily, there is again hope for a bright future. Every department here has been open to me, and I have attended all the lectures, particularly Dean Paget's lectures on pathological anatomy. I have also spent many hours with Florence Nightingale, for she, too, wishes to enter medicine. It is she who has directed me to the path I must take. I shall start my medical work not with the new systems of curing which are now being practiced, but with the old established custom of sanitation. I'm shortly returning to America, and as soon as possible after my return, I'm going to build up a hospital in which I can experiment. I look forward to the time when you can aid me in these matters. As ever, Elizabeth.
But Elizabeth, it's ridiculous. 8 months ago, you took this entire floor of rooms in New York at an outrageous rental, and you've spent half your savings in furnishing it as a clinic. And what do you have to show for it?
Nothing. Except bills and letters of confidence like this one. If you're smart, you'll get out of New York and stay out. Maybe you call yourself a doctor, but no doctor in petticoats will ever lay a hand on my family, so get out before you're run out. Naturally, it's unsigned, like all the others.
You receive threatening letters like that, and yet you insist on trying to get people to accept you as a doctor.
Yes, I do, Emily.
But does your safety mean so little to you?
Oh, come now, Emily. No one has yet tried to do me bodily harm.
Yes, but the letters... Oh.
Yes?
Miss Blackwell.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Hicks. You know my sister, of course.
Mrs. Hicks?
How do? Miss Blackwell, I didn't climb all those steps just to discuss the kind of morning it is.
I'm certain of that.
There's enough work for me to do around here without climbing stairs all day long to bring your messages.
Oh, you have a message for me from a patient?
Patient? Mrs. Cavalcade said to tell you she won't be coming to see you anymore.
Won't be? But I haven't finished her treatments.
Well, I don't know about any treatments. But I do know Mr. Cavalcade told her he'd take a strap to her if she ever came here again.
Oh.
Furthermore, Dr. Blackwell, I would like to remind you that I'm not your maidservant, and I'm not taking any more messages for you.
But, Mrs. Hicks,
your shingle is a blot on my house, and ladies have refused to live in a house with such a mark. If you weren't so prompt in paying your rent, I should be forced to ask you to move.
Well, Elizabeth? Well, what? Now will you abandon this hopeless dream of yours?
My answer is still no.
But you're becoming a doctor without patients.
They will come, Emily.
Elizabeth...
The water's boiling for the tea.
I'll fix it. Elizabeth, dear, I know what a medical career means to you.
And to you, Emily.
Yes, I have been thinking of the doctoring profession. But I realize how cautiously we must proceed. I know that people simply refuse to accept what they call a professional woman, as you've seen.
They must accept us.
In time. We're both still young, Elizabeth. We can wait. In the meanwhile, we'll study, observe, attend lectures.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that?
Of what?
If I can make the people recognize the dangers of their crowded living conditions, their poor ventilation, unwholesome food, and the lack of exercise and sunshine, then perhaps I can also make them accept me as a doctor.
And just how do you intend doing that?
By giving a series of lectures on health, education, and sex.
Elizabeth!
I'll outline a program of planned activities for women, such as fencing, riding, and archery. I'll instruct mothers in the health education of their children and describe the process of birth.
But do you honestly think anyone would attend such lectures?
I most certainly do.
They probably would at that. Whatever else they may call you, Elizabeth, dear, they will never call you unpersevering.
Oh, Emily, I want so desperately to be a doctor. Accepted and respected. Will you stay in New York and help me?
I stayed with Elizabeth and helped her plan her lectures, which proved to be sound, though a bit sensational. Slowly, a trickle of patients began to move toward the rooms in University Place. In March of 1853, Elizabeth took a small room where poor women could have a chance to visit a female doctor. The insults and the threatening letters gradually turned to admiration, and other doctors, men doctors, came to seek Elizabeth's advice on sanitation measures. Our list of patients grew, and finally, on May the 12th, 1857, we founded the New York Infirmary for Women and Children. Elizabeth's courageous battle against prejudice had finally been won. How proud I was of her when she rose to make her speech at the opening of the infirmary.
My friends, the full, thorough education of women in medicine is a new idea, and like all other truths, requires time to prove its value. Before the existing institutions, with their great advantages of practice and complete organization, will be open to them, women must show their capacity to act as physicians and their earnestness as students of medicine. They must prove their medical ability before expecting professional recognition. And we here at the infirmary have pledged ourselves to that task which lies before us.
Elizabeth Blackwell, at great personal sacrifice and overcoming a physical handicap, saw her dream become a reality. Her success in the medical field led the way for other women in the same profession. Today, there are over 8,000 practicing women physicians in America. 3 hospitals are staffed exclusively by women. Every medical college in America but 4 is coeducational, and one, the Woman's Medical College in Philadelphia, is open solely to women. And the New York Infirmary for Women and Children is still standing. Yes, Elizabeth Blackwell has left us a great inheritance. An inheritance based on humanitarianism, unselfishness, and devotion to an ideal which is voiced in the doctor's oath of Hippocrates.
I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred, that I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members, that I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor, that in whatever house I enter, it shall be for the good of the sick, to the utmost of my power.
Next week, Inheritance will take you on another journey through the pages of history to a time when Americans dreaming of the future forged that which we possess today. Today's story, In Whatsoever House I Enter, was written by Milt Kahn and featured Virginia Gregg as Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. Included in the cast in order of their appearance were Stanley Fraser, Jerry Hausner, John Picard, Earl Lee, Gail Bonney, Betty Harford, Ben Wright, Betty Lou Gerson, and Irene Tedrow. The original music was composed and conducted by Robert Armbruster. Inheritance is produced and directed for the National Broadcasting Company and the American Legion by Albert McCleary. This is John Wall speaking.
Next, we meet another woman who challenged the status quo, armed only with her wit and a printing press. Anne Royall tells the story of a journalist whose fierce attacks on corruption earned her powerful enemies. When they tried to silence her using an archaic law, will her belief in free speech survive the trial, or will she be crushed by the very system she sought to expose?
The Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont. The story of Anne Royall. Adapted for radio from material and new biography of Anne Royall, written by Bessie Rowland James. With the beloved and distinguished star of the American theater, Miss Ethel Barrymore.
My name is Anne Royall. Are we going to stand by while money changers fill their pockets out of the national treasury? Are we going to allow people to undermine the very principles of this democracy? I say run them out before it's too late. I despise cant. I despise these pious meetings held in the name of a cause. Those caterwauling females and dandies who can't see a hand outstretched in need at their door. I say break them up. Keep this splendid country free of hypocrisy and corruption.
Anne Royall talked too much. With blazing eyes and lashing tongue, she went up and down the country exposing falsehood, defending the most precious right in America, the right of free speech, the cornerstone of our personal liberty. Anne Royall believed passionately in free speech, so passionately that she rocked a nation to preserve it. A petticoat editor who stopped at nothing and spared no one in her defense of the right to say what she believed. In July 1829, she was known the length and breadth of the United States. Who remembers her now? Surely someone remembers.
My name is John Coyle. I remember Anne Royall well. In fact, I was the first to realize how much influence her wagging tongue and biting pen had. People were believing her. Now, I live by the principles of brotherly love, you understand. But Anne Royall went too far. She broke into a meeting and accused me in public of treachery. Treachery? The next day, a few of us called on Mrs. Royall.
This is indeed an honor, gentlemen, that you come all the way up the hill to my house. Sit down, won't you?
Mrs. Royall, we're not here to mince matters. We won't take much of your very valuable time. But there is a certain matter. You made a most serious charge against me in public yesterday.
I only speak what I know. Your society meets regularly with the sole purpose of undermining the government.
Mrs. Royall, for many years you've been writing and talking what you think up and down this country.
That's quite correct. People have listened kindly.
Listened kindly? With their mouths gaping to catch your lying gossip.
It's the truth. Every word.
Leeds, you don't use words like that to, a lady. Perhaps we had better say Mrs. Royall is too strong in her opinions.
Poppycock. People have a right to know about politicians and organizations that corrupt this free and noble air we breathe.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
Just a moment, Leeds. Mrs. Royall, we don't wish to suppress anybody's earnest efforts and sincere convictions. But we must warn you, we will not tolerate any...
You will not tolerate. You, with those hypocrites at work undermining this free government.
That's enough.
It's not enough. Ever since the world began, there have been those who thought they could strangle the truth. But in this country, it's different. Here a person can speak the truth freely. I always have and I always will.
Perhaps we must remind you, there are courts.
There isn't a law you can take me into court on.
And we'll make it our business to find one. We'll stop you, Mrs. Royall, if we have to comb every bit of common law from here to doomsday to get you.
Go ahead, go ahead. Do what you will. I'm not afraid. And I'll talk as long as there is anyone to hear me. I have the most powerful weapons in the world on my side. Truth. And the free right to speak it.
I remember Anne Royall. My name is Thomas Swan. I was prosecutor at her trial. As bad a time as I ever had in court. The woman was dangerous. She said certain people held political jobs too long. With my record of 28 years as district attorney, I was glad to be the prosecutor that morning when Anne Royall's case was called.
Sit here, please, Mrs. Royall. The judge will be along presently.
Bad as they are, I never thought they'd drag me into court on such a trumped-up charge.
It's perfectly legal, Mrs. Royall. You mustn't take it lightly. As your lawyer, it's my duty to warn you. You're here to answer serious charges. I beg you to use caution.
Mr. Cox should become as addled as the rest.
Order in the court. Order in the court. His Honor William Cranch presiding.
All this fuss and feathers to make good their threat.
The prosecution will open his case. Proceed, Mr. Swan.
Your Honor, gentlemen of the jury, the prisoner at the bar, Anne Royall, is charged with being a common scold.
Common scold, an old forgotten law, dragged into the light.
I must warn the defendant that this charge is legal and valid, and carries with it the punishment of the ducking stool.
Ducking stool, that's for witchcraft.
There'll be order in the court. Proceed, Mr. Swan.
The defendant Anne Royall is charged by the people of the District of Washington with being a common disturber of the peace, a common brawler, and a common scold.
Your Honor, those are lies.
The court will be in order.
Mr. Cox, as my lawyer, will you permit that pack of lies to go on?
Mrs. Royall, we lose everything if you're going to shout out loud in court like that.
Are you or shall I tell the court myself?
Before the examination of witnesses begins, is the defendant ready to answer the charge as stated?
Your Honor, I'm prepared to answer the charges, but I didn't know witnesses would be called today. My lawyer...
Your Honor, I protest. The truth of the matter is, there is not one man or woman in all Washington who would bear Mrs. Royall witness.
Then I'll call on heaven. I'll get witnesses in the court if the court will grant me 24 hours.
Your Honor, I object.
One moment, Mr. Swan. Mrs. Royall, this is a fair trial. Call your witnesses for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we shall proceed with the trial.
Your Honor.
Court is adjourned for the day.
Remember Anne Royall? I'm Sally Stack, the best friend she had before the trial and until her death. I worked with Anne over her writings. She called me Secretary Sally, and I think I knew her better than anyone else in the world. Her courage, her love of country from her pioneer childhood, her eccentric clothes because she didn't care and had no others. The gods must have chuckled as we reached home that afternoon. Two shabby old women defying the world.
Throw open the window, Secretary Sally. We're home, and I want to get the stench of the courtroom from my nostrils.
And I want to get the sound of those voices from my ears.
The voices we didn't hear struck my ears the loudest. Of a sudden, my old friend, General Van Ness, has developed poor ears and good legs. Twice I spoke when he hurried on. Sally, We live in a mightily shrunken world this evening.
Cowards. All of them. A year ago, they stood around like gaping fools to hang on your lightest word. But witnesses, Anne, you must get them.
There's just one I want. Just one. With him here, I could forget all the others.
Aye. And he would turn in his grave now to see what they're doing to his wife.
No, he wouldn't. William Royall would hold up his head and fight as he fought the redcoats, and he'd have me do the same against my enemies. But who are my enemies, Sally? Why have they done this to me?
Because they're cowards, Anne. And you have no fear.
But the ducking school, I'm old. They know. They know I couldn't survive it.
Oh, I'll go. Lawyer Cox, no doubt.
I come up from his papers for air.
Is Mrs. Royall at home?
She is, sir, but I...
Oh, bring him in, Sally. Heavens, we've always received people and always will. Today's no different from any other.
I'm glad you feel that way, Mrs. Royall. I'm not sure I agree.
Well, William Leeds. And what is it this time?
Well, I've come with an offer, Mrs. Royall.
So we will bargain this time.
Now, you've been trying to get a pension for some time, Mrs. Royall.
Rightfully so, for my husband's services in the Revolution.
Well, if you will cease writing, if you will withdraw your books and hold your tongue, that pension can be arranged.
If you think you can silence me...
You can live comfortably and quietly the rest of your life.
I'm not interested, Mr. Leeds.
Well, perhaps we might arrange to dismiss this trial. This whole distressing matter will be forgotten.
And if I should refuse?
The choice is yours, madam.
Well, that's clear. We're in the open. And here's my answer. Go home and tell your filthy schemers Anne Royall will write and talk the truth as long as there is a spark of life in her.
Very well, Mrs. Royall, if that's your answer. But I will not be responsible for whatever your enemies do to you.
Anne, what's that noise?
You can't fight the whole world, Mrs. Royall. Look out the window.
Anne, look out!
Some more of the fine work of your friends, Mr. Leeds? Hoodlums that would prey on women. I'll answer them.
Anne, don't go to the door.
Mrs. Royall, you're in danger.
I'm not afraid of this danger. It's in the open. What do you want?
Anne, look out! Anne, are you hurt? Your forehead's bleeding.
Nothing. A piece of glass grazed me. Now you, Mr. Leeds, you and your friends have done a fine night's work. Now get out. Get out before two women push you out. Get out. Get out.
Anne, sit down. Shaking like a leaf.
I'm all right. Sally, where's my bonnet?
Good heavens, you're not going out now with that mob?
I'll go the back way. I've just thought of my last witness, and I'm going to get him.
Who?
Andrew Jackson, President of the United States.
My name is George. I belong to General Jackson. I was his manservant. I'll sure never forget Miss Royall, that evening when she come a-marching up the steps between them pillars, a-pounding with all her might on the knocker. General Jackson always did let anybody who wanted to see him come right in. Figured if folks couldn't see the president, there wasn't much use of having one.
Ask Miss Royall to come in, George. Tell cook to set another place for supper.
Yes, sir, General Jackson. But if I can say it, sir, she don't look hungry this time. She look mad.
I expect so. Show her in.
Come in, please, Mrs. Royall.
General Jackson.
Well, evening, Miss Royall. Good evening, ma'am. Sit down, won't you? Mighty glad to see you.
Thank you. Those are rare words for me to hear these days.
So they're after you, huh?
You know?
Oh, yes. News trickles in here once in a while. I see you have your head bandaged.
They stoned my house tonight.
That's bad, man. I can send a guard.
No, that's not what I want. Mr. President, you've always been a friend of mine.
Why not? We're two of a kind, ma'am. Sort of rough, with frontier mud on our shoes that sometimes splashes on the carpets of these nice parlors. I like the way you speak out your mind, like your lungs were full of good, clean Tennessee air.
That's kind of you, sir. I'm afraid not many others feel as you do.
Not backing down, are you?
No. Mr. President, would you go on the witness stand for me?
Witness stand?
Yes. And tell them what I've said is the truth, that I have a right to say it. What are they trying to do to our country when a man or woman can't speak his mind?
Well, I tell you, ma'am, if I was plain Andrew Jackson back in the saddle, I'd say a word for you. But I'm President of the United States now.
But, Mr. President, couldn't I subpoena you?
So you're going to subpoena the president, eh? Well, that will make history. Ma'am, I'm blamed if I wouldn't like to see you do it. But if the president could be subpoenaed, he'd be spending all his days in court with a number of folks out after his hide.
I see. Then everybody's against me. Everybody hating an old woman who wants the truth to be known. They gave us a constitution. They said a lot about freedom of speech and ideas.
We've still got the Constitution, ma'am. Maybe folks are beginning to forget what it means.
I know, Mr. President. I was a little girl when it was written. Maybe we were all children then, only now we've grown up and the dream has vanished and the land is black with evil, Mr. President. And the fawning little men who are betraying the noble heritage of the giants of our American childhood, Washington and Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson.
Miss Royall, tell you what I'll do. I'll have Major Eaton, the Secretary of War, be a witness for you. And I'll tell him to speak a word for your character.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President.
Now, will you stay and have some supper here?
Wish I could, Mr. President, but Sally Stack is alone, waiting.
Well, maybe I can send some supper with you. George.
Yes, sir?
What? Well, blamed if I don't think you stand behind the curtain and listen.
Oh, no, sir.
You go fetch the plumpest white leghorn chicken you can find in the hen house and bring it in here.
With the head?
With the head. And hurry. Miss Royall don't want to wait.
I am William Cranch, judge on the bench at the trial of Anne Royall. Remember her? I'll never forget her. It was a troublesome business. She had friends in high places, but she had enemies, too. And already the case had begun to reek in the newspapers. Though most of the editors hated and feared Mrs. Royall, they were turning our witchcraft trial, as they called it, into a Punch and Judy show. And small wonder as the trial went along. I remember that afternoon, Coyle was on the witness stand.
As the court knows, I bear only Christian charity in my heart for this misguided woman whose poor talents have been put to so unfortunate a use.
Yes, go on, Mr. Coyle. What did Mrs. Royall say when she broke up your meeting?
She accused us of treachery. She said we were trying to undermine the government.
And accused you of treachery?
Well, of course, that is a rather strong word.
And of course, untrue.
Yes, of course. We may have talked over the clerical party.
Lies, Your Honor.
Order. Proceed with the testimony.
You see, the woman is obviously malicious and hysterical.
Lies.
In the course of her speeches and criticism, what else did Mrs. Royall call you?
Well, only my love of honesty.
Answer the question, please.
She called me Pumpkin Willie.
Thomas Timms, that is your name.
Yes, sir.
What is your occupation?
I am porter of the Senate.
Mr. Timms, to your knowledge, has the witness ever spoken slanderously?
Oh, yes, sir.
Indeed? Will you please tell the court when?
Mrs. Royall said that Mr. Watterson and I were the handsomest men in Washington. And if that isn't slander on all the other Washington men,
I protest. Are we to make this court the laughing stock of the country?
You did that when you built the ducking stool at the Navy Yard, Mr. Swan.
I'll clear this courtroom. Will the prosecution go on?
That is all, Your Honor. We have too much respect for womanhood to undermine this woman's character further. The witnesses have concluded their testimony that Anne Royall has made a public nuisance of herself as a common scold. The prosecution rests.
Will the Honorable John H. Eaton take the stand?
And the Secretary of War.
Andy Jackson must have sent him.
He'll give you a good character.
My name?
John H. Eaton.
And Major Eaton, you are Secretary of War, are you not?
Yes, sir.
What do you know about Mrs. Royall's character?
I know Mrs. Royall to be a courageous and honest woman, and I've never known her willfully to slander any human being. I know her only as a woman whose pen dares to write the truth.
There will be order in the court.
That will do it.
No, it won't, Sally. It's all a horrible farce. Even Eaton's kindness doesn't mean a thing. You'll see.
I would like the defendant herself to take the stand. Mrs. Anne Royall.
And remember, be calm.
I'll be calm.
This way, please, Mrs. Royall.
I know my way, thank you.
Anne Royall, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give in this trial shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Mrs. Royall, would you tell the court in your own words why you objected to this meeting?
Yes, I'll tell them. I heard a lot of caterwauling females and a lot of young men talking against this country. I told them they'd better be home practicing Christianity.
Then what happened?
They threw books at me, so I drove them out. I told them not to come back to the neighborhood until they could behave decently.
Mrs. Royall, did you accuse prominent office holders of self-interest?
If you mean by that I think there are too many people in the government who care more for their jobs than their country, yes. And if the donkeys in this country can't see...
Your Honor, I object. Personal opinions are irrelevant.
That's what you're trying me for, isn't it?
Objection overruled. In this case, the personal opinions of the accused are exceptionally relevant. Mrs. Royall, you run the risk of fine for contempt of court.
There isn't enough money in the world, Your Honor, to pay for my contempt of this court.
Now, proceed, Mrs. Royall.
Your Honor, I have very little to say. I doubt if you could hear it over the baying of the hounds who have run me up this tree. If it is the wish of our good friends to make war, let it be war. Let it even be the ducking stool. I've no ideal but a love of humanity, no politics but the welfare of our country. For this country I shall fight every evil I find, and wherever the shoe fits, let it be worn. If what I say is not the truth, then there are laws of libel to prosecute me which have not been invoked in this court. You can't do this to me. I'm an American citizen with a right to free speech.
Gentlemen of the jury, you have considered the evidence in the case of the People versus Anne Royall. How say you? Is the accused guilty as charged or not guilty?
Guilty.
My name is Richard Wallach. I remember Anne Royall. Yes, I guess I was one of the few friends Mrs. Royall had that terrible afternoon. I was only 18, but I worshipped Mrs. Royall for her kindness and wit. Gladly I went with her from the court. Her step was unsteady, but she would not lean on my arm.
That a court of justice and a court of the United States could be so used.
But Mrs. Royall, the judge waived the ducking for only a $10 fine, and Secretary Eaton himself paid the fine and bond.
Aye, a bond to keep the peace like a common vagrant. Major Eaton must be deeply shamed.
But don't you see, a few of us believe in the rights you spoke for today.
Rights? No, they're dead. Dickie, you're going to be a great journalist someday, so learn your lesson. Think and talk their way, or else you too will be a voice crying in the wilderness.
Do you believe that?
Here she is. We know who you are.
Do you indeed? You're a very wise little boy. Who am I?
You're a witch, and my mother says you're going to be dunked in the water until you're dead. Yeah, get
Oh, let's hurry, Mrs. Royall. This is terrible.
No. Let's rest here for a moment, Dickie. You asked me a question a moment ago.
Yes, but I shouldn't have asked it. How could you have any faith left?
No, you were right to ask, and I want to answer, here with the sunshine on us and the elm trees whispering above us and the white buildings of the Capitol gleaming there on the hill. No, Dickie, I'm not a voice in the wilderness. I'm part of this as you are, and those small boys, and the justice and tolerance that'll grow up to find.
Then they haven't stopped you, Mrs. Royall?
Stop me? Let me tell you, Dickie, I have plans for starting a newspaper. A paper to speak the truth and defend the right. That has been my faith. And as I have lived, I will die by it. I believe in this country and its people. I believe in the divine principles of justice and freedom for which these people fought, which will grow up as the nation grows. I believe that no petty evil or temporary wrong can harm the enduring greatness of the American spirit.
Freedom of speech, that cherished heritage of Americans, has come down to us because patriots like Anne Royall, that little old woman in her bonnet and shawl, fought in a time of prejudice and malice to keep that ideal alive. And for her struggle to preserve this American tradition of free speech, Anne Royall takes her rightful place in the Cavalcade of America. Thank you, Miss Barrymore. We're proud to have you as our guest on the Cavalcade of America. On tonight's program, the orchestra and musical effects were under the direction of Don Voorhees.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
And now, for our final feature, let's trade historical drama for domestic comedy with radio's quintessential couple, Fibber McGee and Molly. It's their wedding anniversary, but while Molly's dropped plenty of hints, Fibber seems blissfully unaware. Can Molly jog his memory before the day is out, or does Fibber perhaps have a secret plan up his sleeve after all?
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. It's a horrible thing for a woman to have a new dress, a new hairdo, and still be wondering if her husband will remember that this is their wedding anniversary. Apropos of which, just outside the La Parisienne beauty salon, we find the very social Mrs. Carstairs and the very sociable Mrs. McGee of Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
You really like my hair this way, Millicent?
My dear, it's simply stunning. I haven't seen such a happy-looking wave since my niece got out of the Navy.
Well, I hope McGee notices it. This is our wedding anniversary, you know.
You mean he's forgotten it?
Oh, I don't think he's forgotten it exactly. He just hasn't remembered it yet. I think I can bring it to his attention in my delicate way, if I have to beat him over the head with the calendar.
Personally, I handle the matter somewhat differently. I always leave a note on Mr. Carstairs' shaving mirror wishing him a happy anniversary. That gives him all day to pretend he'd remembered it, too, and buy me something expensive to quiet his conscience.
Does it always work, Millicent?
Last year it worked 4 times.
Well, McGee won't be... Oh, heavenly days. Yoo-hoo, Otis. Otis Cadwallader, yoo-hoo.
Well, hello, Molly. Nice to see you. I'm sorry I haven't got time to talk, but I'm on my way to the airport.
Well, happy landings, Otis.
Thank you, Molly. Remember me to, what's his name, your husband.
I will, Otis. He'll be very... goodbye.
Good heavens, my dear. Wasn't that Governor Cadwallader?
Yes, a very old friend of mine. If I hadn't married McGee, I probably would have married Otis. Ah, lucky me.
Lucky? You mean you wouldn't want to be the governor's wife?
No, it'd be too much etiquette for me, Millicent. I wouldn't know which knife to use on the filet mignon and which to use on the politicians. Well, I've got to be getting home now.
Well, can I give you a lift, Mrs. McGee? It would save you a lot of time. The traffic is terrible these days.
Yes, particularly with so many cars on the street. Oh, McGee, I'm home, dearie.
Huh? Oh, hi, Molly. What'd you say?
I said I'm home.
Oh, you been out?
Yeah, for a while. Notice anything different about me?
Different? Well, let me look at you a minute. Oh, I know. You're not wearing a hat.
I was, but I just took it off. So you could see.
See what?
My hair.
What's the matter with your hair? It looks all right to me. Quit worrying about it.
Thanks. How about this dress?
Fine, I like it.
Good.
I've always liked that dress.
It's a new one.
Oh, it is? Well, it's very pretty. What are you celebrating, kiddo?
Dearie, don't you know what day this is?
What day? No, Oh, my gosh. Well, This is May 28th, and I didn't get my copy of Field and Stream. I'll write them guys a letter that'll... What's the matter, Molly?
Oh, nothing. I was just hoping that... Well, never mind. Say, do you know who Mrs. Carstairs and I met downtown? Otis Cadwallader. Oh, we had such a nice chat.
What? Cadwallader? I never did have any use for that guy. Him and his Stutz Bearcat and coonskin coat. Skin coon coat. Look, Molly, I never mentioned this before.
Yes?
But I once caught him cheating at croquet. He skipped the middle wicket.
Well, I'm sure he didn't mean to, did he? And you don't have to be jealous anymore. I'm glad I married you. That certain day in May.
I'm glad you did, too, Tootsie. You wouldn't have been half as happy with...
Come in.
Hello there, kids.
Well, my goodness. Hello there, old-timer.
Hi, old-timer. What's on your mind?
I was just passing by, Johnny, and I thought I'd... Hey, you're looking mighty pretty there, daughter. New hairdo, eh? And a new dress.
Yes. You like it?
Like it? It's prettier than a guinea hen sitting on a haystack in a full moon.
Well, thank you, I think.
What was it you said you wanted, old-timer?
Hey! Oh, I was just passing by, Johnny, and I thought I'd tell you I seen an old friend of yours downtown. O.D. Cadwallader.
What do you mean, friend of mine? That slab-sided, money-hungry, boat-grabbing wolf in wolf's clothing? That guy's so two-faced he could dance cheek to cheek in a broom closet.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, McGee. I think Otis has always been a very nice man. The kind who remembers birthdays and wedding anniversaries and things.
Well, I've known Odie for many a year, kids, and he's come a long way, too. Must be worth $1 million.
Oh, at least.
He may have it, but he ain't worth it.
No. No use to feel that way about it, Johnny. Just because you young fellers started out together and one of you is rich and one of you is you.
Why, of course not. Money isn't everything.
No, sir. Believe me, Johnny, you wouldn't want to do what Odie has done to get all that dough. You could have had $1 million, too, if you'd want to make that filthy money the way Odie made it.
Gee, really? How did he make it, old-timer?
He worked for it. Well, so long.
McGee.
Huh?
Look, do you think it's true that if a couple have been married a long time like we have, that if one of them thinks very hard about something, the other one usually knows what she's thinking?
Absolutely. I've always believed that there. Why?
Well, concentrate. I'm thinking of something. What significance, if any, has the 28th of May to you and me?
28th of May, Oh, my gosh, the 28th of May. Is that today?
Indeed it is, dearie.
This is the day I get my gray pants back from the cleaners. Hot dog. Imagine you remembering that. That's marvelous,
Thank you. I thought for a minute you weren't going to... Oh, dear. Come in. Oh, hello, Dr. Gamble. Come right in.
Thank you, Molly. Hi, Needlepoint. What are you wandering around town for? Get kicked off the staff at the hospital and none too soon?
No, sack seat. I just got in a fresh shipment of arsenic, which naturally reminded me of you, so I thought I'd drop in and say hello.
Well, it's nice to see you, Doctor.
I can return the compliment doubled and redoubled, my dear. Your new hairdo is extremely becoming. It's a new dress, too, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Doctor. I got it especially for today. This is a very special occasion for us, you know.
It is?
Oh, I'll say it is, boy. After 5 weeks, the dry cleaners are finally sending back my gray pants.
From the pained expression on your wife's face, Lip Switch, I would say that you were walking down memory lane with one foot in the gutter. Incidentally, Scuttlebutt, I saw an old friend of yours downtown this morning, Otis Cadwallader.
Yeah, that fathead is no friend of mine. I hated him in high school, and I hate him now. That apple polisher, bootlicker, teacher's pet.
None of mine ever did.
You know, Doctor, Otis was sort of an old flame of mine.
But she married me.
Yes, just goes to show what a drip can do to a flame.
Oh, yeah? Well, he wasn't so much competition, Fatso. Molly knew right from the start which was the best man.
Of course I did.
Then why did you marry this one? Don't answer that. Too late to do anything about it anyway. But to me, it's like picking a donkey out of a bunch of racehorses.
Personally, I think donkeys are cute, Doctor. And I read someplace that donkeys are the most patient of all animals.
Thanks, kid.
Well, if you'd practiced medicine as long as I have, you'd think that patients were the donkeys of all animals. Which reminds me, I better get back to the barn and look at a few of them. So long, Beauty and the Beast.
Isn't he a sweet old character?
He's old and he's a character. But if he's sweet, we got sand in the sugar bowl.
Well, I think he's nice. McGee, would it bother you if I played the piano a little while?
Not at all, kiddo. Not at all. Go right ahead. I love to hear you play the piano.
All right. Remind you of anything, dearie?
Well, now, let me see. Oh, I know. Yes, we have no bananas.
No, pet. How about this one?
Oh, I remember that one. That's, now, wait a minute. It's an old army song, ain't it?
No. But if something doesn't happen pretty quick, it's going to be one of the greatest battle hymns of all time. Now, look, McGee, this has gone far.
Hello, folks.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior.
Say, you certainly look beautiful, Molly. New dress, new coiffure.
New what, Junior?
Coiffure.
Have you, Molly?
Certainly.
Let's see it.
Take a look.
Where?
That's her hair. Where do you suppose?
Where in her hair? I don't see any coif. What was that again?
Coiffure, dearie. That's a French word, meaning you'll keep coming back to us because you'll never be able to comb it this way yourself. Oh, well, dearie, I suppose I might as well go upstairs and put my new dress away.
Yeah, might be a good idea.
Unless you think we might be going out somewhere tonight.
Such as where?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe to a restaurant or a nightclub or someplace.
Nah, let's save that for some special occasion.
Like maybe our anniversary or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what day this is, don't you?
Sure, Tuesday. Hey, when my gray pants come, let me know, will you, Molly?
Yes, dearie. Now you just relax and don't get excited about anything.
Okay.
A hinting we will go. A hinting we will go. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. A hinting we will go.
A hinting we will go. Funny how that brogue of hers hangs on. I remember one time... Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hi there, Teeny. Say, I haven't seen you for a long time. Where have you been the past few weeks?
Cut for time.
Oh. Well, it's nice to have you back, sis. I was afraid... Hey, what you got on your finger there?
Hmm? Oh, this is a cigar band, mister. Willie Toops put it on my finger. We're engaged.
You are, eh?
Hmm?
I says you are, eh?
Are what?
You're engaged to Willie Toops.
Gee, how'd you know, mister? Did Winchell carry it?
Doggone it, you just told me yourself.
Oh, and it was supposed to be a secret. Gee, will Willie ever be sore if it gets around?
Oh, don't worry, sis. I'll clam up. But aren't you and Willie a trifle damp behind the ears to be considering marriage?
Why, mister, I think that when a woman chooses her life partner, it is best that she know him as well as possible.
That's what I mean.
I believe that with faith and understanding in one another, married people can surmount any obstacles which life may present.
Surmount any what, sis?
Obstacles?
I think you mean obstacles.
Okay. Anyway, I have studied Willie's character, and I think he is the type which he will never leave the refrigerator door open. And he will always bring me flowers and candy, which I like chocolate caramels the best. And I bet you, if we get married, he will never, never forget our wedding anniversary either, I bet you.
Well, I hope he doesn't, sis. If there's anything a man can do that'll put him in the doghouse quicker than anything else, it's forgetting his own wedding anniversary.
I'll say. When's yours, mister?
When's my what?
Wedding anniversary?
Oh, not until a long way, long about in... Ooh. Oh, my gosh. May the 28th. So that's what... Ooh.
Hey, mister, what you doing? What you banging your head against the wall for?
Go away, sis, go away. And tell Willie to get your wedding tattooed on his thumb, your wedding day. Oh, if I ain't a dope. Oh, what a fool I am. Oh, what a cad. What a rotter. What a thoughtless, selfish, inconsiderate bounder. What a stupid oaf. What a callous jerk. What a mean, narrow, nasty, ingrown egotist. Why, come in.
McGee's residence?
Yeah?
I am from the Wistful Vista Flowers of the Language of Love, and why not send that dear one a fragrant remembrance florist? 722 Oak Street. Call us at any time. We'll send you Rose a poppy or your poppy a rose. Just ask for Sweet William, the florist, who knows.
What are you talking about?
Package for you. Sign here.
What's in it?
Flowers. What's the matter? Is your nose deep?
Flowers, eh? Now, who's sending my wife flowers? Aha, just as I thought. Happy anniversary to Molly from an old admirer, Otis Cadwallader. Why, that rat. I'll fix him. Where's my fountain pen? Now then. Dear Molly, many happy returns of the day. Your loving husband, Fibber. I'm a dirty, underhanded thief, but anything's fair in love. Hey, Molly! Oh, Molly!
Yes, McGee?
Package just came for you.
Package for me?
Yeah.
What on earth is that from? I wasn't expecting it. What is this? Flowers.
Looks like it, kiddo.
Heavenly days. I wonder who... Oh, dear. Oh, what magnificent roses. Look, McGee, aren't they beautiful?
Who sent them? Read the card.
I'll bet I know. Dear Molly, many happy returns of... Oh, McGee, you shouldn't have done it. Oh, you darling. You did remember our anniversary. You were fooling me all the time.
My gosh, you don't think May 28th is that unimportant to me, do you, baby? I'll admit it was kind of a cruel joke, but look. Get back into that wonderful new dress, and we'll have dinner at the Bird of Paradise nightclub.
Oh, I've always wanted to go there, dearie.
Fine.
They say the food is wonderful. Imagine me at the Bird of Paradise nightclub.
Yeah, great place. They give you a bird in the front room and a pair of dice in the back.
Well, in that case, some other place might be. Come in. Oh, Mayor Latrivia. Good day, Your Honor.
Good day, Molly. Hello, McGee.
Hi, Latriv. Congratulate us, boy. This is our wedding anniversary.
Well, I most certainly do congratulate you. When I get home, I shall drink a toast to a lucky man and a courageous woman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
What do you mean, courageous woman? And just what is that?
Excuse me. I don't want to detain you, as you must want to go out and celebrate.
Right.
But I wanted to know if I could borrow a couple of eggs, Molly.
Why, certainly, Your Honor. And if you're going to a political meeting, I also have some very ripe tomatoes.
I intend to use these eggs not for throwing, but for cooking, Mrs. McGee.
What? You a cook, Latriv?
Yes, occasionally. I like to get up in the morning and make a batch of pancakes.
Isn't that wonderful?
I don't cook many things, but I often make batter cakes.
You make what?
Batter cakes.
Not than my wife, you don't make better cakes.
I didn't say anything about your wife, McGee. I merely said that I often make batter cakes.
If they're not better than mine, whose are they better than?
They're not better than anybody's. I was only trying
Well, if they're
to say
not
that...
better than anybody's, what are you bragging about?
I am not bragging. Good heavens, there are any number of prepared mixtures that one
Prepared
could...
by whom?
Well, by whatever company that puts it out, naturally.
You mean when you have company, they got to make their own batter cakes? By George Latrivia, if your hospitality...
I didn't say I made my company make their own hospitals. My own batter cakes makes it... Look, I was only...
Now, don't get excited, Mr. Mayor. Heavenly days, if you want to sit around and ask your guests to cook their own breakfast, I'm sure it's...
I tell you, I don't sit around on my own guests. I mean, when I start greasing a greedle, greasing a grundle, a gradle, when I make batter cook-a-bakes, cakes, you would have not... I'm just... Wasn't it enough to just... McGee?
Yes?
In about 3 weeks, I'd like you to come over and have breakfast with me. I'll mix up some batter tonight and let it set in a warm room in the meantime.
What? For 3 weeks? Why, it'd spoil, Mr. Mayor.
What are you trying to do, poison me?
What do you mean, trying? I'll guarantee it. Good day.
Well, come on, Snooky. Let's go. Get into your burlap and we'll do the town. Come on, let's go.
Oh, McGee, I'm so happy. And to think I thought you'd forgotten what May 28th was. How silly of me.
You know, Molly, this really wasn't such a sudden idea. This going out for some nightlife.
No?
Nope. All day long I've been wanting to take you to a club.
Well, isn't that a coincidence?
Why?
All day long I've wanted to take a club to you.
I see what you mean.
That was a wonderful evening, dearie.
Yeah, but Molly.
Yes?
Look, I never had any secrets from you, and I hate to be deceitful on our anniversary. I got a confession to make.
Why, whatever is it, dearie?
About them flowers you got. I changed the card on them on account I forgot to send any. They were really from Cadwallader.
Well, don't worry about it, dearie. I have a little confession to make, too.
You have? What is it?
Those flowers.
Huh?
They weren't from Otis.
Huh?
I sent them to myself and put his name on them.
You did? Well, good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Products for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
From wartime heroism and pioneering struggles to battles for free speech and anniversary antics, this episode of classic radio drama theater has spanned courage, ambition, defiance, and pure fun. We hope you enjoyed these 4 classic radio gems. Which story gripped you the tightest or made you laugh the loudest? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next collection of timeless radio treasures. Until next time, remember, the best stories are always worth listening to again.